We need to accept that competition is a new and prominent feature in the U.S.-China relationship. The question is, how do we manage that competition, and how do we prevent it from completely undermining any areas of cooperation?
No major international problem gets easier to solve in a U.S. election year. And I think that the U.S.-China trade problems fall squarely into that category.
Like all normal negotiations between governments, concessions have to be made. It can't be one side wins all, because this is a long-term relationship and both parties need to be satisfied that they didn't compromise on core interests. But I think that's possible, because I think that the US can recognize that the fundamental structure of the Chinese economy is something that's up to China to decide. And the Chinese government can also recognize that there are things that they agreed in principle to do when they joined the WTO, like further open their markets to foreign companies, better protect intellectual property rights, that they can do. And they can also recognize that these things are actually really good for Chinese companies and the Chinese economy. So I'm reasonably optimistic.
Phase 1 mini trade deal seems like would be an important first step in putting a halt, hopefully not a temporary halt, to the serious deterioration.
I'd encourage the United States to do a number of things. First, we need to get our domestic house in order, reversing the current political dysfunction that we're witnessing. Being strong at home will put us on the strongest footing to deal with international issues, especially China. Second, we should stop having purely an attitude on China and implementing our China policy in a piecemeal and haphazard manner. This includes having important domestic discussion in the U.S. over what our vision for future global leadership is. And finally, we need to be more proactive and less reactive to everything that China does. This includes being much more confident.
Predicting the short-term trajectory of the U.S.-China relations is really hard because it's difficult to know what President Trump's next tweet is going to be. But hopefully, and I think this is the case, I think he realizes that having a deal with China is much better for him than not having a deal. So I am reasonably optimistic that things are going to get somewhat better than they are now and not get worse, but I'm not betting a lot of money on that.
Thank you for watching. For more content, research, publications, and podcasts, please visit us at carnegietsinghua.org.